Jeff Samuel, you received a Navy Cross, 4 Bronze Stars with Valor, 2 Purple Hearts. You're the founder of SubSurface Veterans, helping veterans reconnect with the ocean, scuba, and shark diving.
You see the energy that people will start to put off once they get around these sharks.
Many people don't know this. The United States military has been one of the most productive investments in American history. It's projected to add more than $15 trillion in the global economy by 2030. 2012, you were a team leader on a successful U.S. hostage rescue mission in Afghanistan.
It was a high point in my career, but then it was a low point because we lost a man that night.
Jeff Samuels, thank you for being here today.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Nice to have you come down here. Almost, an hour and a half to come down here.
It is from Hope Sound. Yeah, it was better
to have you here.
It's up traffic.
Let me read you a quick intro that we wrote for you. Jeff Samuels joined the U.S. Navy in 1996, completed the Bud S Class 215. By the way, what is that?
BUDS is Basic Underwater Demolition School.
Okay. You began your career with the SEAL Team 2, became a diving supervisor, instructor of a master training specialist. In 2007, you selected the Naval Special Warfare Development Group, completing 13 combat deployments and hundreds of missions. Hundreds of missions?
Hundreds.
Wow. In 2008, you were severely wounded in Iraq. You chose to recover and redeploy. In 2012, you were a team leader on a successful U.S. hostage rescue mission in Afghanistan. Is that the one you told me where you rescued someone?
It is. It was a high point in my career, but then it was a low point because we lost a man that night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. That's all right with you. Later, you built an undersea warfare program, which we'll discuss, advancing diver tactics and training. For his Valor, you received a Navy Cross, 4 Bronze Stars with Valor, 2 Purple Hearts. Today, you're the founder of SubSurface Veterans, helping veterans reconnect with the ocean, scuba, and shark diving.
Correct.
Is that about right?
That is about right.
That's a long resume.
I think with the SEAL Team 2, it's SEAL Delivery Vehicle Team 2. So our delivery vehicle was our underwater submersible submarine. I drove that for my first 6 or 7 years. So, well, yeah.
So tell me about your early life. I mean, take us back. What did you like doing growing up? Did you ever think you would be in the military? Did you wear the uniform?
No, I never thought it. I was an athlete growing up. I played a lot of soccer and out of Virginia. Went to college playing soccer and found myself doing a lot of drugs and bad things. So my next progression was join the military. So I joined the military, and during boot camp, when we first went there, they actually played a video on how to become a SEAL. Okay. And I was like, I can do that. So I passed the test, and next thing you know, I'm at SEAL training, BUDS out in Coronado.
So you said you saw something. Was it I guess marketing for the Navy?
Yeah, so they play videos on like kind of recruiting people how to become SEALs or to become SEAls. Back then there was no war going on, so it was kind of a...
What year is this?
This is 96, 97. 97. No wars going on, so they were just trying to recruit people. Try to fill quotas and fill the quota for them.
Okay. What if you didn't do that, well, what else would you think?
I would have all been military. I was going to be a radio man inside the Navy.
Obviously, I've never been to the military, so I don't know what it's like. I've heard some people tell me it's transforming. They teach you so much. And tell me what's been the most important lesson or values that you learned there.
100% straightened me out. And I personally feel like kids that nowadays that are getting lost, they should go in the military because first it teaches discipline. It teaches accountability for your actions. It teaches you kind of a hierarchy of, kind of respecting your elders or your bosses. Mostly it's accountability for your actions, and they hold you to it, which is important, in my opinion.
What do you think about parents that, I've always known, I don't know if this is like a stereotype, but I always find that individuals that join kind of the uniform, it's generally that kind of, you're kind of like in a tough situation in life, like perhaps like, and then your parents are just like, listen, we want you to join. We want somebody else to train you. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, parents just want their kids to prosper. You better than
a lot of that in the Army, that a lot of people are that way, or you're just like, no, that's just it's a bad stereotype. It's
a bad stereotype. It's probably 50-50 on what parents do that, especially nowadays with all the stuff that's going on that, people pushing their kids into the military, which is good. I think we've had the highest recruiting the last couple of years. They take that person they don't know, we'll say they're young and dumb. I mean, pretty much what kids are. They don't know what real life is really like. And they put them in situations where they have to learn and to be accountable for their own actions. And they have to be proactive, teaches them respect, discipline, and all these things. And which is what the youngsters need to be, achieve in life.
Yeah, I agree. How would you notice that what percentage of people that wear the uniform are, let's say, have a bachelor's degree or a master's?
Well, there's officers in the military, and I would say 100% of the officers have a degree. Nowadays, I would say almost, and this is just my guess because I had no idea, but I'd say almost maybe 30% have degrees, 40%.
Would you recommend that they take that step before they join, or it's like, nah, that's really not the way to do it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the way to do it.
You get a higher rank.
You did get a higher rank, but it's not significant in any way. You might go from an E1 to an E3. So you're really not in charge of anybody at that point, or you're not leading people. But it's, I mean, I think guys should come right out of high school. That way they don't get bad habits, and they can, once you become a bad habit, it's hard to break that habit. So these youngsters coming out right away, you can put them in the right line and they stay in the right line.
Tell me about your organization. Why diving?
Well, it was kind of a natural progression for me. I grew up in the water in Virginia Beach, boogie boarding and surfing, and was a lifeguard at the oceanfront in Virginia Beach. And then I ended up, when I joined the Navy and went into the SEAL delivery vehicle team, that was all diving for like my first 8 years. I enjoy the quiet peacefulness of being underwater. And after my career, I moved down here to Florida, and water's so beautiful down here. It's kind of was the next thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. So SubSurface Veterans, you're a nonprofit. So you love the water. Why do you believe that this is good for veterans that have been either injured or struggling, post?
Right. That's a great question. With the injuries, you're taking all the weight when you're in the water. It kind of takes all the weight off of your limbs and your legs and your back and, your spine, which is good for some of these injuries that you can get. But the mental aspect of it, you get down in the water and you become, because of the breathing with that breathing apparatus, the scoop gear, you almost go into a meditative state because you're thinking about your breathing, and you start getting into that. And then you might see something that you've never seen before, which will, trigger something inside your head. And then you see it again, and then you get back on the boat and you have the camaraderie on the boat where now you're talking to a buddy who might have the same kind of problems, we'll say. And they connect, and then they become friends, and they keep going diving. And that's what I think that's why kind of one of the reasons I started there.
All right.
Is to see that.
Are these individuals that you're taking, are they generally social individuals? Are they well connected in society, or are they more like loners and they're struggling? They're maybe on the street. What is it? Give me the profile.
We've got a couple guys that and gals that I feel that are, we'll say, loners. I don't like using that word, but some of them were alcoholics, and they changed once they got into scuba diving, it changed their whole life. Or it's great to see when they get on the boat and they start talking to somebody. There was one gentleman on one of our first dives. His name was Brian, and he was real quiet, sat in the back of the boat, didn't want to talk to anybody. But by the time we got back to the dock, he was in the mix with everybody, making laughs, joking and smiling, and just having fun. It just changed his whole mentality, and for me, that was awesome to see. Makes me want to do it again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the most common issue that they have? I think what's
it all varies, because another one of the reasons I kind of started is that you see a lot of people with the visual injuries, so they might have lost a limb, or they might have be scarred up outside of their clothing area. My focus is the people that aren't that. People that might have wounds that are inside that you can't see.
What kind of stuff we talking about?
Like mental stuff.
Suicidal.
Not really. Suicidal is a big thing, and I don't talk about that very much. I would never ask somebody that, but I try to, we'll say, I try to make it where the environment on the boat is that they would feel comfortable. That
Flight.
yeah, to kind of let themselves
I
out.
want to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, do you reach out to these individuals?
So I'll
Kind of
post
reaching out, you know-
yeah, I post the dives on the internet and on social media, and it's first come first serve. They call me up and I put their name down in the book.
And it's complimentary to them.
100% complimentary. The only thing that's not complimentary is travel, and the reason I do that is because if they sign up, I want to make sure they have a little skin in the game to make sure they want to come.
Committed to being there.
Yeah. So, and we've gotten people from Georgia, we've gotten people from West Virginia, Northern Florida, everywhere. It's been pretty good so far. Yeah. Yep.
Is there any particular transformational story? I mean, I know it's not going to happen on the boat that day, but something you can tell me like this guy came in and he really told us that this really helped him out, or something you would remember.
Yeah, we've got a guy, his name is Lewis. He actually lives up in kind of New Smyrna Beach area. Okay. And every time he comes out and dives, like it's a phone call the next day of how much he appreciated it. You know, it makes me happy as shit. You know, he's always asking, what can I do? What can I do? How can I help more? And then he goes out and recruits people and the other veterans that he's friends with or he knows. And then they come back and now we got more people on the boat and more divers coming in the water. It's kind of building a small little club / community. Just veterans being in the water.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you'll get every often. Somebody offering you a free boat ride, to go out and scuba dive with sharks.
Yeah. One of the big things too is like and that's why we do the boat rentals instead of owning a boat, is that then we don't have to worry about equipment. You know, the equipment's already on the boat. They don't have to carry tanks down to the boat.
Stress levels
lower. You just show up, have a good time, and go back and have a snack afterwards. And
you build a relationship with these individuals, or is it kind of like a one and done kind of?
No, I've got a relationship with a few of them. Not all of them, just because there's been, quite a few, but I do maintain text message relationships with, I say half a dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what could be done to help? I mean, what do you think the organization needs? Is it funding? Is it more exposure? Is it
I mean, funding and exposure are always the number one and number two things. With me, I made jokes with some other organizations that I'm a part of at, I've been Good Idea Ferry. I'm not a closer because I hate asking for things.
Yeah. I'm the same way, by the way.
Yeah. It's tough to ask for funding. So that's difficult for me. So funding is definitely, it costs us SubSurface Veterans probably about $3,000 to $5,000 a month, to put on a dive. With the boat rental, then you got dive tanks, you've got equipment sometimes, and then we offer lodging on some dives if it's like a Friday, Saturday type thing. And then, the meals in between and things like that. So we've been running on a budget from $3,000 to $5,000 a month. The goal is to try to get in within where we raise enough to be able to do like a dive trip to like Roatan or like kind of a diving destination for 6 to 8 to 10 veterans to go there and kind of just disconnect from kind of all the stressors of America that they've got going on in their daily lives. And
these guys are active or retired?
All retired. I'd say 90% are retired. I think we've had 1 or 2 that were active, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's on Honduras.
Honduras. Awesome spot. Great.
Yeah, I heard some good things about it, actually.
It's third world down there, but
I've never been there.
People are happy. The water's blue. And it's good weather all the time.
How are you funding it right now? Is it mostly out of your pocket, or is it mostly?
I'd say 20% out of my own pocket, and then I kind of word of mouth for the rest.
Okay.
We definitely do get word of mouth, and then I've got friends that make sure that it kind of won't fail. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've got enough where we're getting along, but obviously funding, if we wanted to keep it going and raising more money is probably one of the most important things out there.
Yeah, I agree. Have you had scenarios where perhaps the individual said, "Man, I love this so much that I want to be a part of it. I want to help out. I want to pass it down." What is it called? Where they pass buck? Yeah.
Pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward. There we go.
So we do when we offer we'll say civilians. The word civilian and military veteran. like I'll have a civilian come out and the civilian pays for the actual veteran and themselves. So they're kind of paying the veteran forward to go on that particular dive trip. But I've never had a veteran though go from to pay it forward. But never know. Might have some veterans with some deeper pockets and able to do that. Great. That's the case. That's the case.
Now, your headquarters is out here in South Florida. Why South Florida? I mean, what's so special about this marine life here?
Okay, well, yeah. I'm in Hope Sound. It's based out of Hope Sound, Florida. We get great reefs up kind of Palm Beach, Jupiter area. That's where we do the sharks out of Jupiter. Okay. It's kind of like the water, well, it doesn't really funnel into there, but it kind of rotates cold water and hot water in there. And then that's kind of a breeding ground for a lot of the lemon sharks, and a lot of the bull sharks and tiger sharks and things like that. We're able to get close to them. And then moving farther south down here to Miami, we've got shipwrecks. We've got beautiful coral reefs that are not too deep. And then you get into the Keys and it's, the Florida Keys, the reef life down there is amazing. It's not deep. It's 30 to 40 feet and it's comfortable. You can dive for about an hour underwater. And then the farther you go, the better it gets. But yeah, Florida's got a lot to offer.
Is there, I don't know how many places you've dived in, but is there anywhere like South Florida in the world?
Not all encompassing, no. So maybe some places that have the water quality and
The reefs.
yeah, the reefs are, yeah.
Even though that's like deep stuff, right?
No, it's all, some of that is shallow. I mean, the reefs usually come up to about a foot off the surface and then they might fall down into a wall. That's thick shit. It'd go from 40 feet to 2,000 feet some places.
Have you dived in Australia?
I have. I dove with great white sharks in Australia, South Australia. That was pretty intense. That was, we were in cages and it was, the shark is eating the cage, right? And we're this close to it. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And that's the kind of stuff I want to share with everyone, because when a veteran sees that, especially a veteran that's struggling a little bit in life and they see that, and they've been taught their whole life that it's to fear a shark. And then you get close to one of these sharks, you realize, hey, that shark's really not hunting me. It's hunting the food that you're basically float around you in chum lines and things like that. So it definitely, you see the energy that people will start to put off once they get around these sharks and the excitement and confidence when they get out of the water, like, holy shit, that wasn't as bad as I thought, let's go do it again type thing.
And most of these guys are first timers, I imagine, in the water.
Yeah. Well, first time, they're certified divers, but the first time being with sharks, yeah, when we do the shark dives.
But don't you need to have a course before you go on?
Right. So I make sure a lot of the veterans are certified divers before they come and kind of come into our program. We also do some instruction, but when you're diving with the shark, you need to be a little bit more advanced to have some dives under your belt.
Yeah, of course.
And so, yeah, when we go do shark dives, that's kind of a requirement.
Yeah, fast forward 10 years. Where do you see this nonprofit going, SubSurface?
Well, hopefully it's self-running and I don't have to do a whole lot with it anymore.
I want to pass it down to, or?
But yeah, maybe. The big thing with the 10 years is I want to be able to get it to where we're able to do a trip a year or maybe 2 trips a year to go places like Roatan or Bonaire or Cayman Islands, things like that, where we take 8, 9, 10 veterans and maybe even their families can go with them and they kind of just get away from the stressors of kind of the real life that's going on around them every day. Because I feel like when somebody gets out of the military, it's like they don't, I wouldn't say they don't know how to cope with what's going on, but their mind was always, all right, it's A, B, C, and D. And then they get out of the military and now it starts with C and it might go back to A and they get confused and it's just, the structure is not there anymore. And it's, yeah.
Is it a tough thing to be in the military and then come back to civilian life? I've heard there's like some difficulty with some individuals.
There is. Especially after wartime, war is gruesome. And when you have to come back and you have to see what goes on here and how polite everybody is or not polite everybody is not as bad as wartime. It's someone's not shooting at you. Someone's not getting shot in front of you. You know, it's kind of just, you almost have to transform back into being civilian life. And it does take a toll on some people on changing them back.
What's the default when somebody goes to war? Is it more common that they'll enjoy and they want to continue with that? Or is it more like once you've been in that, you never want to go back?
I think that boils down to the individual, because I've seen some people that absolutely love being in war, love being in combat, love the adrenaline, love hunting people, so to say. And then you've got guys that don't want to ever do it again. Yeah. And I would put myself maybe in the middle of that. So, but I will say, as a kind of a leader, you got to look at both sides of that. You got to look at that. Okay, I've got this guy and I've got this guy. How do we stay so we stay within the boundaries? Great. Yeah.
Let's go back to the sharks. Tell me, for someone that hasn't dived, I mean, you got sharks in Jupiter, Biscayne Bay, the Keys, the Dry Tools. What's your favorite location?
For sharks, definitely Jupiter area. And one of the people that help us out is Lauren. She's here on the boat. She's shark expert for us, and she knows how to handle them, and she teaches all the veterans when they come on board how to be around the shark and what to do and what not to do. So yeah, she's the important figure when it comes to the sharks. But for me, Jupiter has got the best sharks, I think, around. There's like 5 or 6 species usually, which is nice to see all of.
What's it about sharks that people fall in love with? I never understood. I mean, you have a Shark Week. I'm out there. Is it like
because everybody has always feared them. You've been taught to fear them your whole life. You've been taught to fear a shark. Okay. Well, and then when you actually get in the water with them, you don't need to fear them. Yes, they're not interested in you. They're interested in, there might be a straggler here and there, one or twosies that you read about, but for the most part, there's probably 50 sharks swimming around within eyesight in here. They're not going to bother us.
Dogs kill more people than sharks. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's just, obviously, it's a very gruesome death, when a shark. Well, that happens.
Well, take a limb off.
But yeah, I understand. But there's other animals there's not many animals that they eat a person like that. But there's also lions.
Right. People do safaris all the time. Yeah. There's really no fear.
But sharks are particular. What do you think it is?
I think it's a different environment. First of all, you're in a different environment. You can't live underwater. You have to have equipment to do that.
You're vulnerable too, right?
Vulnerable. You're living in a 360 world, where here you kind of just living in the kind of 180 around you. Well, yeah, it's something you have to experience.
So, President Donald Trump, his America First agenda in general, are generally objectively and arguably they're pro, military, and recognition and support as well. So if the president or one of his cabinet members were listening, I mean, in your opinion, what areas of the veteran community need the most help and support?
Well, now that we've seen that kind of the war is over, you're getting a lot of people that are retiring or getting out of the military, and they're looking for jobs, and it might take them 2 or 3, different jobs to figure out what job works for them, because they've been trained so hard in the military, they've been in combat, and they might struggle finding the right position for them. Some people like to sit in an office, some people like to be outside, some people like to work with their hands, some people work with their, on the computer. So we just need to be able to find jobs and things to do for the veterans that keeps their mind occupied, so they're not sitting around stewing about like their old friends that they've lost in combat and things like that.
I mean, the onboarding process is very thorough. I've never heard anyone complain about how they're doing a bad job onboarding. So you're saying that the post,
right.
Is there an issue there? I mean, I'm guessing they provide services already, right?
The VA does provide services, but with that, the veteran almost has to take the initiative on going out and searching those things out, where I think that the VA could do a better job of maybe reaching out to those veterans. And granted, there are millions of them, but reaching out to those veterans and maybe with an email or a letter saying, hey, we can offer this, this, and this. Does any of this interest you? That sort of thing. Because it's hard for, say, a veteran, for me too. I mean, if it was me, my first couple of years not being being retired, it's like, what do I do? And why do I have to go out and find shit to do? there's a lot of, we'll say, animosity or anger towards why is no one helping me anymore type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've done everything for this country. I may have, sacrificed a lot, and now what's going on?
And a lot of the veterans with, the prices nowadays are so damn high, maybe there should be a break with a veteran not having to pay any income tax or any kind of taxes or anything like that. Because when you go out and you do this, veteran, first of all, is not going to make much money because most of them are non-college educated and they have a very specific job they did in the military. So when they leave the military, that specific job might not be prosperous in kind of the civilian world. So they have to find something new. So I just think the VA could be doing the helping, reaching out to the veteran more than the opposite way around where the veteran has to go search for it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you so much for joining us a lot.
Thanks for having me
out here. South Florida day.
Beautiful out here.
Appreciate you coming.
Water's calm and it's super nice.
Jeff Samuel, thank you for being here today.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Let me read you a quick intro that we wrote for you. I think you'll find this very interesting. The United States military has been one of the most productive investments in American history. Many people don't know this, but it's been an engine of transformation. Military research gave us the internet, today a 5 trillion digital economy, GPS that guides every car and phone, encryption that secures our banking, aviation and drones that revolutionize travel and commerce. You have nuclear energy, it reshaped energy and defense, logistics that shaped our modern business, now artificial intelligence, the new frontier. Born from the defense research, it's projected to add more than $15 trillion in the global economy by 2030. So the record's pretty clear. The U.S. military has not only preserved freedom, it has fueled upward social mobility and created an entire sector of the American global economy. Behind that strength are men and women like yourself that have served in the uniform, the true source of its value. Today, we honor their journeys, their sacrifice, and their missions. We're privileged here to have you, Jeff Samuels, a former U.S. Navy SEAL, decorated combat veteran,